Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim, joined by the man himself, Erik, aka Uncle Rico. What's up, my man?
Nothing, dude. Just watching Akron be a bunch of fucking idiots. Just living the good life here in fucking Illinois, man. How about you?
Erik, currently not a fan of Joe Moorhead. I'm living a great life right now. The conference finals for the CFL were fantastic. We'll go over those here in a little bit. But we're here, Erik. We've made it to the Grey Cup. The season is at its end. What a great CFL season it was. It's fantastic. I had a blast.
You know what? I had a blast too, buddy. I look forward. You and I have been talking. Hopefully, we can put it on the docket next summer. Go to a Grey Cup, not Grey Cup, excuse me, a CFL game. I think that'd be pretty cool.
What time in the season works for Erik?
I don't know, Jim. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Yeah, but you're so okay. So obviously the American football season is out. Like, you're not going during NFL or college football season.
Correct.
What are you? I'm not going during the UFL season.
Okay.
So that gives us the range of like mid to late June till what, the end of July, early August?
All right. So let's shoot for July, the weekend after the 4th.
The weekend after the 4th of July.
So let's shoot for July 12th or 19th.
July 12th or 19th. We'll see what matchup we get. We'll see what we'll do our best to make it there. Erik, the conference finals are behind us. We have two teams, crowned champions, one in the East, one in the West. The Toronto Argonauts bested the Montreal Alouettes 30-28 for the Eastern Conference Finals.
Do you feel with how Montreal, ended the season, it hurt them in this game?
No, I think 5 turnovers hurt him in this game.
But I mean, does that go back to them just kind of not really having everything pretty much locked up? I guess that's my point.
Maybe, but I just, the defense played really well for Montreal for the most part.
Uh-huh.
You can't fumble the ball 5 times. It was just fumbles. They started the game off early with a pick against Chad Kelly, but then they fumble the ball and give it right back to Toronto.
Yeah, that's not good.
Then they would have these drives, consistently. They were driving down the field. They were going, fumble. Going, pick. Going, fumble. It was constantly. They had 330 yards of offense. They were producing numbers. They just kept turning the ball over.
Yep.
And that's not going to win you any games. Sucks that Chad Kelly got hurt here. He got hurt late in this one. Broke his ankle. Straight up broke his ankle in this one. It was tough to watch.
It a little rough.
Yeah. So now we get the Arbuckler coming in for Toronto. It's the Nick Arbuckle show in the Grey Cup. Hence the giant line movement. Up to 9.5 points for Winnipeg.
Yeah. What do you think this would have been if it was
honestly, probably a 3.5 point game. Toronto looked good, dude. That defense is still really good. I still think Toronto has the best special teams in the CFL. That will be very much, they will be relying heavily on both those to even have a shot in this game, I think. Because Nick Arbuckle isn't bad. He's not terrible.
Serviceable.
Yeah, but the way Chad Kelly's been playing these last few weeks, he's been a man possessed, so to speak. He's been looking real good. It's hard not to call it a disappointment for Montreal. Favorites, they were the favorite going in the entire season. Just tripped up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The turnovers are what did it, dude. You can't turn the ball. Like,
I mean, like, dude, like, how can I word this? I feel that pressure game reps are the best. And when you get out to a commanding league, like I was saying, it's just too much for these teams, if that makes sense. Like, if you just are kind of, I don't want to use the term half-assing.
coasting.
You know, I think that that's kind of the thing that we got to look at. Like,
They had it. If they don't turn the ball over here, they're winning this game comfortably. You're kicking yourselves. Baba Sticky asking, Arbuckle the next Jeff Hostetler?
hard no.
You don't trust the Arbuckler, Erik?
No, I don't.
I like that, man. We also had Winnipeg once again trouncing Saskatchewan. The Bombers win this one 38-22. And honestly, from watching this one, didn't even look that close. This one was bad. Saskatchewan had no answer defensively for what Winnipeg wanted to do. They were getting eaten alive through the air.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Carlaros was feasting. Dude, 19 for 26, 301, and 4 touchdowns.
Jesus.
Yeah. Kenny Lawler in the first quarter was like 2 catches for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Jesus. And don't forget, we hit Oliveira over 20 attempts.
I think we hit almost everybody over. We hit Oliveira over. So we hit Oliveira over. Do we remember what the stats were? What the lines were? I think I have it.
They're all in the mid-50s. I think there's one of them we missed.
So if we look back, we had AJ Ouellette 51. That's probably one we didn't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oliveira 119, easy over. Then we had, excuse me. Then we had Kadeem Carey 92 yards, hit. Walter Fletcher 69 yards. I think his was only like 35 or 40.
Really?
I think his was the lowest out of everybody. It was Walter Fletcher's. I think we almost hit everybody, Erik, on the rushing props.
Shoot or shoot, Jimbo. Shoot.
But the writers, they do this all the time. They did it again. They start the season hot, dip in the middle, rise back up at the end, disappoint against the Bombers.
Yeah.
You could set your watch to it. They had no answer. 0 answers on defense. And you look, the turnovers were nice this season. They had a couple like really good defensive players. But Erik kept bringing it up week in and week out. Against the pass, this defense was susceptible. Mm-hmm. And they definitely showed it here. This was not a good showing. Still overall, I think a successful year one for the Riders coach. Overall, a good season. Now, Erik, we have Toronto, we have Winnipeg, a rematch of the 2022 Grey Cup.
And the 2 betting favorites to start the season.
I believe so. It was them and was Montreal was in there too, I think.
Yeah.
Winnipeg's a 9-point favorite here.
Yep.
The over-under is 51, plus 340 on the money line for the Argos. It's hard not to have the wind taken out of the sails of this game a little bit with Chad Kelly getting hurt.
Oh, 100%.
It hurts. And I don't want to see a Blue Bomber domination. I would love, the Argos have a really good defense. They beat them earlier in the season, I'm pretty sure, with Nick Arbuckle. Mm-hmm. So that was a different Bombers team. They were a completely different team early on in the season versus what they are now. I'm hoping.
This is my thought process for the game. Okay. Now hear me out here.
I'm listening.
I'm leaning first half under. Well, I'm gonna bet the first half under.
First half under 26.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Now my thought process is this: what are these teams? What is Toronto going to look to do? They're going to look to shorten the game. They're going to look to run the ball. and Winnipeg plays good defense, I think Toronto's defense is a little bit underrated. The way to beat Winnipeg, looking at their metrics, is on the ground. So I think the carry rushing yard prop over, which I'm trying to find right now, I think that's...
I found one, Eric, at a website called topbet.eu. That's the only place I found it. So the reason that the books had props for these games last time is because the game, I assume, was on Saturday, and we're doing this on Wednesday. They usually put the CFL props up like 3 days in advance.
Okay.
So if this holds, it looks like Kadeem Carey's over-under, both running backs over-under rushing props are 69.5.
All right, I like the over.
For Carey.
For Carey and for also Oliveira.
So Oliveira's minus 135. Carey is minus 102.
I'll go to Carey then.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and run the hell out of Kadeem Carey. Maybe it opens up the passing game for the Arbuckler.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
I would say, like, I would normally love that in a situation like this, but the way that Winnipeg's defense has been stepping up, especially their backfield, I'm worried.
Now
we're going to get like pick six.
You mentioned their defense. Now, not last year, but the year before, a defensive player did win the Player of the Game award. What's it called?
The Player of the Game or the Player of the Year?
Player of the Game.
Yeah, I think they just say it's not MOP of the Grey Cup. I forget what it is.
I mean, the ones I'm looking at are Holm and Jefferson from Winnipeg.
Oh, dude. If Willie goes off, this is like a swan song sort of year for him. He's been there for a minute. They've really been trying to push Brady Oliveira this whole season. Mm-hmm. My pick, because he's just been going off like end of the season and into the postseason, my pick's Kenny Lawler.
Stop. Real quick. Is this just for the game, or is this for the whole duration of the playoffs? Because like for the Stanley Cup, it's for the whole playoffs.
No. So
Not
Eric,
the Stanley Cup final. It's for the whole playoffs.
It's just for the Grey Cup.
Okay.
I might sprinkle a little bit on Kenny Lawler. If he goes off again,
the law.
Yeah, I could see it happening. I wouldn't be upset with Kenny Lawler getting it. I'm excited for this game, just from also a standpoint. I just want to see. I mean, we're witnessing the birth of a little dynasty. I think 3 Grey Cups in 5 years after like making all 5. That's like you could call that a dynasty, right? I saw people arguing on Twitter on what constitutes a dynasty.
I really think that is a dynasty.
Because I saw people being like, no, they have to win all 5.
No. I mean, I'll be honest. I think the Bills are a dynasty. They lost 4 in a row.
You think the 90s Bills was a dynasty?
Dude, when you win as many games as they did in a 4-year span, that's an effing dynasty, dude.
Well, okay. Okay. I respect that. I am of the mind that you have to have at least a few championships sprinkled in.
Okay.
Like, I think, obviously, Patriots dynasty, Chiefs dynasty. Steelers?
Steelers of the 70s?
Yeah. The Birmingham Stallions dynasty.
Georgia football dynasty.
Dude, no. Friggin' Brasilia says 49ers.
Yeah. Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. Baba also agreeing with you.
The Lions of the 50s.
The Fujitsu Frontiers. Dynasty. Obik Seagulls. Dynasty. That's a dynasty. I would call the Blue Bombers a dynasty at this point.
No, 100%. What Especially is the worst thing? Okay, they've won what, 3 and 5? Is that what you said?
They've won 3 and 5. They've made it to all 5.
Exactly. You can't say that's not a dynasty.
No, sorry. If they win this one, that would be 3-5. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves. They've been to the last 4. They've won 2 of them.
Yeah, they're done.
So they won in 2019. They skipped a season in 2020. They won in 2021. They lost in 2022. They lost in 2023. Now they're playing this year.
Yeah, it's dynasty, dude.
You're already calling them a dynasty.
I'm already calling them a dynasty.
Okay.
Dynasty, dude.
I saw the people on Twitter and Facebook arguing not a dynasty yet, which I don't understand. The CFL might have a different criteria for what constitutes a dynasty. I am with you. It's a dynasty. 100%. And I am also looking forward to the postseason because there's a lot of guys in the CFL at the end of their contracts.
So let me ask
see
you
a lot of shuffling.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, the hero of Detroit, Jake Bates, played in what? The UFL. Did, we've seen Aubrey come up. He's made it. My question to you is this. Why don't any of these CFL kickers get an opportunity?
I don't know how much they want. The NFL doesn't seem to be it doesn't seem to take nearly as much from the CFL at all. So I'm not sure exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think the UFL it lines up with it's nice that the seasons kind of you see it and then you can get them that season. Maybe they grab somebody from the CFL, but also it's a different scenario. I just don't see the NFL grab very many guys from Canada.
I don't know why. I don't comprehend why, Jimbo.
I also don't fully understand why. They don't grab receivers. They don't grab other skilled positions that I think could be fairly comparable. And they don't get the kickers, who definitely can be comparable. I'm not fully on board and understanding why they don't do it.
I concur.
So, Erik, as we approach the end, I guess we could have I'll make a whole list next week. Brazil, is there a spread for the Grey Cup? Yes, 9 points. 9 points for Winnipeg. Winnipeg -9. Erik, it's the Grey Cup. We should pick a side, by the way.
So let me ask you this.
We should pick a side.
Last year, Montreal, was the underdogs, but
they were hot, though.
You and I both liked them a lot. What is the game script
for Toronto winning?
Yeah. Yep.
So I kind of had this down here in my notes. The way Toronto wins this game is their defense steps it up to another level. They step it up to another level, and you get some crazy awesome special teams from what I think is the best special teams unit in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You get Janarian Grant returning punts crazy yardages, maybe a kick return touchdown. You get great long field goals. You get a defense that is just stifling Zach Collaros, Freddie Oliveira in this Winnipeg offense. And you keep it close. You keep it low scoring. Because you can't rely on Nick Arbuckle to win you the game with his arm. They got it. Their defense and special teams have to make this game happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried, though, that we saw this sort of Argonauts team without Chad Kelly midway through the season, and they did not look good.
Yeah.
They have the juice right now, though. They played a great special teams game last week against the Alouettes. They played awesome defense.
Mm-hmm. So, so what is it? Run the ball with Gary, limit the turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Defense has to be on point. Hope the quarterback for the
Hope Collaros just kind of messes up a little bit. He's had moments this year where he hasn't looked. I mean, he's looking stellar right now, but he's had a lot of moments this season where he has not looked good.
Because I'm looking at it right now.
Brazili asking, is Winnipeg the Chiefs of the CFL? Right now they are.
I mean, Toronto gives up the second most passing yards per game.
That's not great. They need to step that up.
I mean,
the way he's playing right now, Zach Collaros will carve that up. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Erik, we have to pick a side on this one.
So, gun to my head, if I had to pick the side, I would probably pick Toronto because I feel this is too many points.
I'm picking Winnipeg minus 8.5.
All right.
Actually, Baba's chiming in. Winnipeg are the Patriots of the CFL, consistent championship appearances. Chiefs are getting there. Let me actually take a look real quick because there's something I wanted to look at. So, Erik, let's go through the last Grey Cup. So, it's a 9-point spread. Last year, 28-24.
Okay.
24-23 the year before that. The last time these two played.
Okay.
33-25.
All right.
That's still not covering it.
Yeah. Well.
33-12. Bombers beat Hamilton. You'd have to go back to 2019 to get a game that would cover a 9-point spread. That's, you know. And guess what? Chad Kelly barely played that one. It was McLeod Bethel Thompson. I don't know, Erik. Okay, you know what? Give me the Argos plus 9. This is gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a close game. Argos plus 9, baby.
There you go. So, what I wrote down on my post-it notes for
Erik, how many posts do you go through in a week?
A lot, dude. A lot. I have first half under. I have a split unit bet of Home and Jefferson player of the game. I have Carey rushing yards over and Oliveira rushing yards over.
I will go Toronto plus 9. 9.5 at some shops. Shop around. I will go Brady Oliveira, Kadeem Carey over rushing yards. And I will go Kenny Lawler, player of the game.
I'm also, you know what? I'm going to do it, Jim. If I could find an alt spread, I will take. Are you ready for this, my friend? Carry over 100 yards.
Ooh, I like that.
If I could find it.
Brazili chiming in said he'd buy half a point and take it at plus 10.5. What do you say about buying points, Erik?
Never buy points. Jesus, Jim.
You don't buy points?
No, God, Jim.
I'm not buying points. Our great fan in the chat, Brazili, says he would buy it at 10.5.
No.
If you buy it, let's see if this book lets you buy it. Yeah, you can buy it. So it's plus 10.5. So from 9.5, Erik, to 10.5, it goes from minus 110 to minus 130.
Yeah, no.
He always buys points. But 10.5 is a lock.
No, I never buy points. I have never bought a point in my life.
I've done teasers.
I've never done a teaser in my life.
Never?
Never.
Erik, you haven't lived. You, my friend, have not lived. So I was getting into it. So we'll talk more, obviously, next week of what we're looking forward to in the offseason and next year for the CFL. But before you get into the game, what's one thing you're looking forward? One thing, Erik, that you want to see next year from the CFL? New commissioner, so they're getting a new commissioner. It's our time to talk. It's our time to speak.
A better stats page on their website.
That would be nice.
I mean, the UFL, their stat page.
Speaking of which, did you see that spreadsheet I tweeted out at you?
That was fucking electric.
Shout out UFL analyst. That dude is amazing.
That was magical.
Erik, I'm pretty sure that guy's like 18 years old.
Dude, we should put him on payroll.
If I had a payroll, yeah. Speaking of which, I'm bad at my job. Shout out the one and only Royal Retros, the best shop in the game. They have it all. The best merch. They got hoodies, hats, shirts, everything you could want. They have Baltimore Stallions of the America CFL team. They have the Birmingham Stallions from the old USFL days. They have it all over at Royal Retros. And when you go there, use promo code SPRINGFEVER, all caps, all one word, for 10% off at checkout. Thank you, Royal Retros, for sponsoring Spring Fever. Erik, we end the show.
I mean, I showed you my favorite thing. You can just get one that says CFL on it.
You can also get that. That's great. Be like Rob Lowe of the CFL.
That's, you know what? When we go to a game, this is what we should wear. Just the CFL CFL Players Association.
So I have some XFL merch from 2023 and 2020 that's just XFL. That's all it says.
I am gonna wear the CFLPA t-shirt when we go to a game next year.
Brasilia is asking, when is the game? Erik, can you guess what time the game is? When and where?
6 p.m. Jesus Christ. BC.
Oh, you're close. You're right there. It's 6 p.m. Eastern.
And isn't it
Vancouver. It's in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Yep. 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be live streaming the game.
Are you going to do it just an exclusive live stream, or can I hop on for a little bit?
It'll probably be an exclusive one again, just because I'm still trying to figure out the whole OBS situation of getting people on. I might do a little experiment Friday. I might be toying around with some stuff to see if I can get people on just to try.
Uh-huh.
So we could try that. And if I can get people on Friday, then yeah, I'll have people on Sunday. But we'll do some experimentation on Friday.
It's always good to experiment, Jim.
You're damn right it is. Now, Erik, we turn away from the north and we look west or to the very far east. Because you picked some games in the X League last week, my friend.
How bad did I do?
So, game number 1, Sekisu versus Fujifilm. You picked Sekisu. Well, they won 22-0.
So they covered.
Check that one.
Woo!
Well, this one, I just had you pick straight up this week.
Okay.
Then you had IBM versus Fujitsu. And I was blown away by the fact that you picked IBM in this one.
Okay.
And you were very much wrong. They lost 14-63. They lost 63-14, Erik.
You win some, you lose some, buddy.
63-14. So Elecom versus Obic. You went Obic here. That's another one right in your book. 37-7. Our Obic Seagulls got the win. All Mitsubishi versus Oriental Bio. You picked Mitsubishi because you drive those shitty cars around to your little brunches and your little wine tastings and your little whatever Mitsubishi drivers do. Well,
yeah.
Guess what? They lost 7-19.
Tough game.
Then you had Panasonic versus Nojima. You went Panasonic. Smart man. They won 38-6.
Okay.
And then we had the Tokyo Gas versus the Fukuoka Suns. And I'm calling it now. I've said it before. We are behind Tokyo Gas, I think, 100%. I think they are our team right now.
They're our squad.
They won 37-17. A little bit of a heater right now.
A little bit of a heater.
So if I go to my Twitter real quick, I'm pretty sure someone tweeted out the actual, what the playoff picture is in the X League. I think I have it somewhere.
I got it right here. Jim, I got it right here, buddy.
You have it right here, the actual playoff picture.
So we got, I see the playoffs that they have it. I see the draw right here, my friend.
Ooh, they actually have it, baby. Oh, RBT.
You got the 1 versus 8. You got IBM against
Fujitsu. Rematch.
4-5 is the Gas against the Challengers. Panasonic against Kobe, and then the Seagulls against the Rise.
So we get the Seagulls Rise Saturday, not this Saturday. They're obviously a full week away, which is nice because then I get a full weekend of just X League.
I mean, Jesus, are you going to just be in heaven?
Eric would be very happy.
I mean,
And then we get December 14th and then December 15th. And then it's the final leg. It's the Rice Bowl.
So would you be more comfortable as a Cornhusker fan having an OC from the X League or Dana calling the plays?
Dude, I love that we got Dana.
Just love it.
I love it. I love the move. I'm here for it. We'll be talking more about that on the college football tailgate. Tune in this Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Nice little plug there for the people.
So there's no games this week, right?
No, the X League, again, they do the every other week. Sorry.
Yeah, every other week. Oh, hello? Hello?
Muted. The X League is very intriguing.
What happened, dude? I couldn't hear you, man.
I was muted there for a second. I must have hit the button to mute.
Dude, I was like, did I fuck up? I was looking.
So there are some X League games this weekend. There are some Japanese football games this weekend. Because remember, so they do the X1 Super, which is the one that we really follow for the most part. That I wasn't going to make Eric pick like the X1 area games as well. But they have the lower division, which is the X1 area. And at the end of the season, they do relegation and promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So they have shots to like have these teams, basically like two teams at the end of the season in the area. The two best teams in the area play the two worst teams in the Super, and the winner gets to be in the Super.
Okay.
So this weekend, Eric, if you're looking for if you're craving Japanese football,
if you have a vintage for it, okay.
the matchups we have before you are, let me get this pulled up. Triax versus the Bulls.
Okay.
The Dentsu Caterpillars versus the Metropolitan Police Department.
Okay.
The Lixil Deers, which is one of my top teams, versus the Pirates.
Okay.
The Blue Sanders versus Bullseyes. And the As-One Black Eagles versus the Nagoya Cyclones.
I'll take the Deers, baby.
Dude, we roll with the Deers. We roll with the Deers, and we roll with the fucking Deers. I swear to God, if there's any anti-Deer sentiment, you're getting banned. It's going to happen. Let me take a look and see what the actual teams are, because it doesn't always say them on there. So if we go for the area, it's the Dentsu Caterpillars, Metropolitan Police Department Eagles, Shinagawa CC Blue Size, the Blue Sanders, the Lixil Deers, the Penta Ocean Pirates, and then in the Mitsubishi Corporation Club Triax, the Bulls Football Club, Nagoya Cyclones, the Triaxis J Stars, and the As-One Black Eagles.
Great,
dude, their names are insane. Also, shout out As-One Black Eagles. They were the first professional football team to follow me on Twitter.
I don't have any football teams following me on Twitter, Jim.
You need to get the As-One Black Eagles on your side, Eric.
No, nobody, dude. I have nobody.
You need to get the As-One Black Eagles on your side. Also, the relegation matchups are already set for like the end of November and start of December. It's there's 3 games. It's all Mitsubishi versus we don't know yet. It's the Lixil Deers versus Fujifilm, and it's the Fukuoka Suns versus the As-One Black Eagles. Upgrade the As-One Black Eagles and my Lixil Deers. Get them in the Super.
Just get them up there.
Get them in the Super. I don't give a shit about all Mitsubishi Lions or whoever else is in there, but get the Deers and the Eagles in there, baby.
I don't give a shit, motherfucker.
I might watch some X League this weekend in
Jim,
preparation.
I'll probably be asleep.
So 10 a.m. in Japan is what? What time is it right now in Japan? I got it right here, Eric. It's 12:53 p.m. tomorrow. So the game starts at 8 p.m.
Not bad.
And then a couple of these games, like you're not going to watch the Deers Pirates game because that doesn't start till 3:30. So that's another 2 hours from now. Doesn't start till midnight.
I'll be asleep.
Yeah, you won't be watching that one. And then you can watch the As-One Black Eagles Saturday night, 10 p.m.
Saturday night.
You'll already be up watching college ball.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Oh, by that time, Kansas will probably have already put away.
Colorado?
Yeah, not Colorado.
Who they play this week?
The frauds, BYU.
No. No, BYU supremacy. Let's go Mormons. Let's go CFL. Let's go Argos, honestly. Root for them. Let's go the Arbuckler.
So who's your pick for most? Let's one more time. Bets
For
the
player
game.
of the game or?
No, all your bets for the game.
All my bets of the game. I am going with the Argos plus 9.5. I am going over rushing yards on both running backs, Oliveira and Carey. And then I'm going Kenny Lawler for player of the game.
So what I'm going to do, just hear me out, Jim, and don't hate the player, hate the game, okay? I am going to do first half under.
Okay.
I'm going to do both overs for the running backs. And then I'm going to take my unit, split it in half, and go half a unit home, half a unit Jefferson, player of the game.
Erik's splitting a unit like a bris here. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We will see you post Grey Cup, post CFL season, as we enter sort of the weird spring football offseason for the most part. The X League obviously still going on, but it's a big offseason vibe. Basically, end of November until about end of February. So thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next Wednesday for another hot and heavy episode of Spring